Good evening. Hello. Thank you for joining me. It is the first night of the Democratic National Convention coverage. This year's convention was scheduled for Milwaukee. However, obviously, we are making a tremendous pivot here, and a good much of the convention will be held virtually. And of course, as we're learning, with pre-recorded clips. This is unprecedented. Thank you for joining me. Please share this feed. Tonight's convention is, I will not say unscripted because it is the exact opposite of that. This has to be calculated to the letter, people. There is no room for error because this has never happened before. They are orchestrating from multiple areas. Now, one might think it could be akin to a telethon. Okay? Let's think about that. I'm sorry, I'm on a whole nother theme right now, but it is Monday. Is it Monday? Yes, it is. It is the start of the week. Look where we are. Monday, August the 17th, and the Democratic National Convention is about to kick off. It has been a tad bit difficult to follow exactly what's been going on. I can't really tell you. They tell us that who the speakers will be. We know that Jim Clyburn will be a speaker. South Carolina's Jim Clyburn, my home state. Okay, he will be a speaker. We know that we'll also have who else is going to be speaking? Bernie Sanders is going to speak tonight. Michelle Obama is going to speak tonight. All right. I'm looking at my notes. I also learned you won't believe this. POTUS 45 is actually campaigning in Milwaukee right now. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? How does he keep doing these things? How does he get away with it? Who is keeping him accountable? All right, it looks like something's happening over here. I'm hearing. Oh, yes. We're hearing about the history of the city that this convention was to be held in. But of course, in our day and time, it's difficult to imagine happening like this. The Democrats normally gather in unity and celebration. Right now, we're shifting our attention to think about the celebration, about the leadership that Joe Biden proposes to have to give our country a new direction. Their campaign slogan is Build Back Better. And we are excited about Kamala Harris. We're excited about Kamala Harris accepting the nomination for vice president. This is historic. This morning, I watched a clip about, it looks like they're using, wow, this is it. This is the opening. If you're home now, you can watch. This is the first media that they're going to show us right now. Can you help me adjust the light? I'm not really sure where the mic should go. If you're watching live, they're giving you the real Americana. The real Americana. Is this Bruce? Is this Bruce Springsteen? I'm pretty sure it is. I saw Charleston. I'm seeing protest. Okay. There's a light over here. I'm looking at Breonna Taylor because Black Lives Matter, Black trans lives matter, all Black lives matter. I'm the Americana. The Americana. Yeah, that one. That'll help. We're getting lights together over here, folks, so everybody can see. Cool. Wow. This is how they have to bring us in because we're not gathered together, which is what the convention, that's the literal, come together. That is the Latin. All right, I can tell you that is the Latin, come together. Convention is not happening. So they're pulling on heartstrings and they're going to tell us about Joe Biden's leadership. They're going to tell us about his leadership. They're going to tell us about our oneness, which really is the story. Our oneness. Wow. Make sure you fill out your census. I'm Najeema. Thank you for tuning in for this special coverage of the forecast. We're looking at the, obvious election 2020 and the Democratic National Convention. So this is the intro. We're looking for live speeches from a few politicians. We're also, I know for a fact, thank you. Jim Clyburn is scheduled to speak tonight, this evening. Andrew Cuomo and Michelle Obama. That's going to be exciting for everyone. Make sure you fill out your census, everyone. Excuse me, I'm going to grab some water. So I'm going to be interested in looking at Black women's role in the party, and in even tonight we had a Black woman open. All right, the live coverage. It was a live coverage from Milwaukee. I'm going to be interested in seeing more from Valerie Demings and Stacey Abrams. All right. I'm expecting to see those. Now, there was some controversy. There was no Asian American voice initially in the lineup. And, there was some talk about that. So it's interesting that they were able to make that happen. They put Andrew Yang on because there was no Asian American representation. And that's a shame because I agree, is a good voice. Andrew Yang is an incredible voice. He showed his leadership. And for the DNC to ignore that draw and not bring him on immediately, I'm not sure where that play came from, but that seems to be a misstep. So that automatically leads you to the questions: is the DNC tone deaf to brown and Black voices? I would say yes, because there's still there's still, is that ticker coming or no? Okay. Why was that overlooked? Andrew Yang. Why was he overlooked? Why does the DNC rely on the black monolith, which is such a negative? I really don't like that term. Yet that's the same conversation we keep having over and over and over and over again. The black monolith. I don't understand. I don't understand. Is that a misnomer? That we are a voting bloc, and that we are because we have to act collectively, because that's what we know how to do as black people, as brown people, as indigenous people. We always know how to work collectively. Just my 2 cents. My 2 cents. I'm trying to figure out exactly what happens when I work with some of this branding. So thank you everyone for tuning in so far to my coverage of the DNC. It looks like major news networks are popping into their own commentary while other main while the DNC, I say, gets it together. I don't really know how they're distributing this. Are we just all waiting for a stream to come on and just like, is that what we're talking about when we talk about the monopoly of media? If you follow music, you know what I'm talking about. How there are fewer and fewer and fewer, stations. There are fewer and fewer stations. So that's why we argue about media. All right. Because we want to hear different voices. And that's why I started a podcast called The Forecast. All right. And this is coverage of that podcast. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in so far. As far as I'm concerned, we're just sort of kind of waiting for the DNC to shoot us what's next. Michelle Obama is on schedule. Bernie Sanders is on schedule to speak tonight. This will be the second time that Bernie Sanders is at the Democratic convention, and he's not accepting the role that he twice now expected himself to be, I mean, how powerful was his draw? Last time he held up an election, he could almost do it again, dare I say. But we know what's at stake, and the ticket is Biden-Harris 2020. All right? And this is the forecast. Special election coverage. Biden-Harris 2020. Thank you for tuning in. I'm excited to see Jim Clyburn tonight. Oh, I should have had a picture queued up and ready for you. Sorry. I wish I could say I had a closer relationship with him, but he is obviously a beloved figure. I do have several pictures with him. He had a very close relationship with my father. He had a very, very close relationship with my father. My father made Jim Clyburn an Omega Psi Phi fraternity. And wow, I'm sorry, I'm getting teary-eyed. Jim Clyburn was scheduled to speak at my father's funeral, but unfortunately, Washington did what Washington does, and he was unable to tear himself away from the business of that time, which was Hillary Clinton and Benghazi holding up the election of 2016. But it is 2020. It is August 17th, 2020. Thank you for tuning in with me. I am your host, Najeema. We're watching the Democratic National Convention coverage, and I'm just honestly waiting to see what's coming next. I know Michelle Obama will be speaking. Bernie Sanders will be speaking. And again, Jim Clyburn will be speaking. Earlier today, I saw Val Demings, and that was impressive. Let me circle back around here to this conversation about the Black monolith, right? And while I want to tell you why I am disturbed by that term, I really don't like that term, monolith. Maybe I'm too sensitive. I'm sorry, I'm standing up, y'all, and I really need to be sitting down. So I'm going to make that happen. If you bear with me. Let me know if you're watching the coverage live on Facebook. It's also being streamed on Did You Catch the Forecast? I'm just going to put a chair over here. I got a PA with me today. Are you my fourth cousin? Oh, snap. I just spilled the water. I think you're my fourth cousin. Yeah. I think that's crazy. My fourth cousin is here with me. Can you turn that light on? All right. So, yes. Now we're cooking with gas. I need to turn that one off. All right. So, the big wigs are coming on. I am looking at a rich lady with a lot of money. It's a Hollywood actress, and she's on telling us to vote because, yes, that's what we want everyone to do. The campaign I'm interested in running is called Vote Pie 2020. Prepared, informed, and engaged. You can't hear me. Let's put this, if you could put this over. I have no idea what I'm doing. That water is dangerous. All right. The soul of America. That's what they keep talking about. It sounds good. It sounds real good. But what does it mean? And how will it be executed? The soul of America. Many would argue with how Kamala and Joe have executed the soul of America thus far. Wouldn't you argue? Y'all, I have way too much tech going on. This is supposed to be so much easier. Well, you know, I got props and such and such. But the one thing I know is that the mic is supposed to be in front of my face. So we're going to do it like this, y'all. It looks like the convention is kicking off with more young people, which is, you know, exactly what the party needs and the party should reflect. Let's be honest. That was my argument. I didn't necessarily want to see candidate, you know, right now Chicago's Mayor Lightfoot is on. She's always entertaining. She looks beautiful. Yes, yes, she does. Beautiful suit. Beautiful suit. Mayor Lightfoot. Andrew Cuomo is scheduled to speak tonight. He's been acting mighty presidential himself, if I do say so. So I saw some commentary that voter enthusiasm is high. That's promising, wouldn't you say? Voter enthusiasm high. But I'll go back to what is the Black woman's role in the place in the Democratic Party? Because we're going to see a lot of Black women over the next few days. It's 4 days. Okay, it looks like they've got a round table Merlin, 2020 with Uncle Joe sitting down. It's real futuristic. Oh, so let's play the game. What movie are we in? What tell me. What movie are we watching as far as the foolishness is going on? I refer to this podcast, the forecast, as us living in the future that we watched and that we created. It's a movie. It's a reality show, unfortunately. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. And we have to survive. We're surviving it. Young Cuzzo said V for Vendetta was May. I remember marking the Handmaid's Tale and going back and watching Virtuosity with Denzel Washington. Okay, yeah, it's popping politics. That's what I talk, y'all. I'm Najeema. This is Najeema TV. I mean, I'm trying to keep it real simple. When I talk this, well, what is to come? The convention is kicking off. They keep saying that. I just want to tell you my personal experience is trying to figure this out, because I was expecting things to start happening around 7 o'clock. That's when major media started talking about it. But the actual convention wasn't supposed to get started till 8:30. And now it's 9:30. But we're waiting on Michelle Obama, and we're waiting on Bernie Sanders, and we're waiting on Jim Clyburn, Andrew Cuomo. I guess they keep saying coming up. All right. People speculated about, I'm going to keep circulating back to Black women. Stacey Abrams, Susan Rice, Kamala Harris. How did he come to this, conclusion about a candidate? I love it. I love her. I don't want to hear anything about her Blackness. Come on now. I don't even want to talk about it. She's Black. Okay, all our kinfolk ain't our kinfolk, but you don't go to an HBCU and not have, a heart for our people. Come on. Let's not even have that conversation. I want people to have the facts about Kamala Harris. I want them to have the facts about her. You know what I'm saying? Don't get the record straight. What was the phrase Jonathan Turtle used? No, I gotta cut this out. about her level of justice. She she's she's doing the best she can. They're all doing the best they can. Everybody, like, they can't come in and immediately create change and write laws. No, it's a process. It's a government. There's supposed to be checks and balances. Let's be reasonable about what people can, you know, accomplish. Let's be reasonable about it. Okay, thank you for joining me. All right. Right now, Jim Clyburn is on. Oh, and he is pulling the card. Yes, he is. I got to tune in. I might have to put you on mute. I hope you're watching now. I want to try to get to Facebook and look to some of your comments. Let's just take a second, okay? And tune into Jim Clyburn's comments. Thank you for joining me.
Succeed if we move forward together.
Moving forward together.
Who sees unified people as a
Moving forward together. That's what Clyburn is speaking about. He's talking about Charleston and our place in history. Let me talk about that for a second. I can talk about that on and on and on and on. I am proud to be from Charleston, South Carolina. I am proud to be from here. It's hashtag Charleston, my beloved. That's my hashtag for this place. It's a place where my father's from. It's a place where I grew up. It's a place where my parents made their life and gave me the life that I have. And I'm so very thankful to be from here. I am so thankful to have a relationship in this community and to be building not only on my father's legacy and my mother's legacy. They, as educators, touched many, many, many lives. We did the math. My father was an educator for at minimum 32 years. Schools of 500 students. He was the principal of James Simmons shortly after he had been made vice principal of a school. But we're not here to talk about my father, although he is my heart anchor to this community. It's why I am happy to be home. I'm happy to be of service. I'm speaking now. I am your host, Najeema Davis Washington. You're watching DNC convention coverage with me. We just heard from Jim Clyburn, who gave a very passionate speech about choosing the right direction for our nation and the leadership of Joe Biden. I'm excited to see what's next. I'm actually going to wrap up this broadcast, see what's next, because it's not really clear what's coming on, and I would love to give you honest, reaction to what I see. So thank you for joining me thus far. We know more speakers are to come. Andrew Cuomo, Michelle Obama are both scheduled to speak. All right. All right. So thank you for joining me on this coverage. I'll be back within the hour to give you impressions of what this hour holds. Thank you so very much. Please download the Urban Music Report on your Apple TV or Roku device. If you have a Roku device, go to roku.com, log into your account, search for the Urban Music Report, download it. There you can find streams of my content, live and on demand. The Urban Music Report is broadcast globally. It is supported by Verizon, and you could download UMR on Apple TV and on Roku. Just on Roku.com. You know you got a Roku, right? I'm on my second Roku. Catch up. Just having fun. You like my hair? All right, everybody. I'll be back. Until then, thank you for spending your time with me. Remember, the best way to predict the future is to create it. Thank you for watching the forecast.